finally exists. What's up, everyone? Andre here, along with Nick, and we have to talk about the Mario Galaxy movie trailer because, as you know, I did a full analysis last night, and I am so in deep on this thing that I have to talk more about it. And we have a lot of questions, some concerns, and we also want to touch about the things we love. So we're going to go through in order, not that order, ironically. We're going through with things we love first, followed by questions we have, and then we're going to get into our concerns about the movie, if there are any. So we got some dogs that are going nuts, by the way, in the background. I guess they're excited too, which is great. Chat, feel free to chime in at any point. You will be keeping an eye on it, of course. I think I also got... Did I get the super chats working properly? No, I didn't. Not in this version. Anyways, whatever. Nick, I want to start off with the things that we are loving about the Super Mario Galaxy movie. And I guess as part of that, how are you feeling about the whole thing overall right now?
I thought they nailed it with the first trailer, right? Like, they teased us just enough with each individual character, like, just enough of Bowser, just enough of Bowser Jr., just enough of Rosalina. So overall, for a first trailer, like, I was thrilled with it. I thought they did an excellent job.
Yeah, I didn't know fully what to expect, and I was pretty darn happy with what we got. Like, so, yeah, I mean, it's beautiful, it was funny, it's the same characters we knew and loved, plus a few new ones, you know? Tons of actions from what we saw already. It just looks amazing, and I like the new voice cast that got announced. I like the additional scenes they showed beyond the trailer. It's interesting that they weren't just part of the trailer itself, but you know, we got a couple extra scenes, and I'm very pleased with what we're seeing so far. So I cannot wait to see more of this movie. I'm hoping we won't have to wait too long. You know, if it works like the first time, we'll get more of the Game Awards, I think. So
yeah, and that's in what, like, less than a month now, or exactly a month. Yeah, we should be getting another trailer, or at least a clip, because I think at the Game Awards, the clip that they showed was Mario like exploring the Mushroom Kingdom for the very first time, and Toad was taking him around through the town, and Mario was just like jumping on platforms, and he had no sense of balance or anything. He was just kind of sloppy, and then he eventually gets to the actual kingdom or the castle, and that's it. That's where it ends. But yeah, I love that scene.
It was so fun for me to see Mario, like, who, you know, from the games is a pro at this stuff, and not instantly be super good at everything, right? So that was fun. I really enjoyed that, and you know, but that also will tie into something I'll mention later on for things we love about the Mario Galaxy movie. And I guess we'll just launch into it, right? We'll just get into it. All right. So I'll start off here. So chat, first off, we can go over everything we love, then we'll move on to other things. But starting off with one of the things I loved is the fact that we're going to see Mario and Luigi work together here. As I pointed out in my analysis, we actually see Mario and Luigi together throughout the entire trailer. They're in the castle together initially with Bowser, then they're there when Bowser Jr. attacks, and they're there again in the desert. Now, how those connect, I don't quite understand yet, but yeah, I love the fact that they seem to be addressing a problem people had with the first movie where we didn't see them working together as brothers too much, where they really will be. Now, I actually will defend the first movie on how it handled it. I know what some people will be upset by, but I thought it worked for what it was. But now for the second one, yes, we're finally seeing them to work together, which is awesome.
Yeah, compared to the first movie, again, like, the most we saw them work together was on their actual day job, was when they were doing their plumbing work, and they did a terrible job at that. So yeah, to see them actually in this trailer being, like, with each other at the castle, and their interaction with Bowser, and then Bowser Jr. coming in, and then the desert sequence going back to Odyssey, yeah, I'm happy to see that they're actually going to be working together, unless they're just pulling one up on us or something, where it's like, hey, like, we're just showing them together right now, and then maybe they get split off again. But I don't think that's going to be the case with this movie. I think they're really going to have them stick it together, and then Peach and Toad might be like the other, or like the side story of those two actually working together. But yeah, Mario and Luigi being here and working together, I think it's going to be a key element to this movie.
Absolutely. Nick, what's something you loved?
So right off the gate, like, watching the trailer for the first time, I was thrilled to see that we're getting references outside of Galaxy. Even though I do enjoy Galaxy, it's not my favorite Mario game. Odyssey's still my number one. Like, I love going back to the Desert Kingdom from Odyssey, where they're on their motorcycles. I flipped out during that part because that was also in the original Mario Bros. Movie, the first one before this one, and they just walk past the Desert Kingdom, and they're not really there. So to see them on their bikes and having a little bit more action during that scene, I freaked out. Having Bowser Jr. in his Wonder form, because when I first saw it, I'm like, I thought it was almost like fan art, or maybe it was like a hypersonic or a supersonic kind of style thing. And I was like, wait a minute, I think I know this from somewhere, but I don't know if this was made just for the movie. And then eventually clicked. I was like, no, this is from Mario Bros. Wonder, which was their most recent 2D outing. So to see multiple games being packed into here, not just Galaxy, really just brought excitement to me. And I'm like, okay, I'm happy they're not just focusing 100% on Galaxy.
I mean, that whole freaking desert scene is
Yeah.
amazing. I love it. It's so good. Like, it's so Mad Max, but also reminded me a bit of like the speeder bike sequence from like Return of the Jedi. You know, it was just so cool seeing Mario and Luigi out there on motorcycles, like darting back and forth through this epic desert. It reminded me a bit of how I play Mario Kart World. You know, and it's God, this looks so freaking good. And seeing Mario like with the goggles and everything, is this like a Mario movie still? Like, what's going on here? It is just so freaking funny. And yeah, to your point too, I love that it's not just Mario Galaxy, although it's also very Mario Galaxy. But I like that it's not just that too. I fully agree with you. And that's what the first movie did as well. It wasn't just Super Mario Brothers or, you know, any singular game. It was a combination of things. I think that's the best way to move forward, you know? To like take elements from whatever they want that works for the story. And I guess building off of that, a kind of surprise appearance here were the Ninjas. I love Ninjas, and it was so cool seeing them because they're kind of a rarity in the Mario series, especially the mainline games, in particular the 3D ones. They've never appeared there. Like, they've kind of historically been more of a spin-off or 2D character, so it was fun seeing the Ninjas here. And they had this amazing detail when Peach is like beating on them in the casino place. Their buttons start flying off their suits, which I guess confirms that they are in fact suits, not just like weird button-looking things. Like, if they were Pokemon, you know that would be part of the Pokemon.
Yeah.
But I guess they are wearing suits. So what do they look like underneath, Nick?
I think we might actually get a glimpse of that in this movie because I remember maybe in the first movie, like we see Shy Guy without like its mask or something. So like I think we'll eventually maybe see like a ninja in the background or something, like putting on like the black little cape or little suit the suit they all wear. So yeah, I think we might see a naked ninja in this movie. But yeah, like going back to ninja, like I totally forgot like Ninja is like never really appears in too many games, and then the most recent thing I can think of is in Mario Party Jamboree. He's a playable character there, and I was like, wait a minute, I don't think Ninja was playable in anything else. I mean, chat, correct me if I'm wrong. He was probably playable somewhere else, but again, like getting a Ninja appearance here is very rare, and I was happy to see it.
Yeah, it's really nice. I like that a lot. So, real quick, thank you for the super chat. We'll address all the super chats at the end just so we don't interrupt the flow too much. But thank you so much, and feel free to send more. We will answer all of them at some point. So, okay, so that was your love, and I think I built off of that. Oh no, was not.
Oh wait, no, we did. We went to the desert, and then we were talking.
Actually, no. Then go. Bring us another, Nick. I want to hear another one.
Yeah. So one I loved to see is that Bowser is multifaceted. I love in the first movie how they went in full-fledged with the Jack Black singing, because I'm a fan of Jack Black and I think he's a good musical artist. But not only that, we see the opening scene of Bowser in the mini castle, but he's painting. And I'm like, okay, like this is kind of a throwback to, I guess, if you want to say Mario 64 when you jump into the paintings, but seeing how much art he has going on there. And they show off a lot. They show off like the skeleton Mario, which is based off of an outfit from Mario Odyssey. They show like the flowers from Yoshi's Island. He starts going through like a ton of paintings because I guess he has a bunch of downtime. So what is he going to do in this mini castle? He's going to become like an expert artist, which he ends up doing. And then we see the final painting that he shows off to both Mario and Luigi. And Mario says it looks like trash, is the picture of Bowser with abs next to Peach, and she's like loving him, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so funny.
It's so good for a few different reasons. One, that whole poster, right, reminded me of that terrible Shrek 5 teaser.
Yeah, exactly.
Where they have a similar joke, but it didn't work there, whereas it works brilliantly here. You know, it's like, oh, that's how you do it. Freaking. Also, by the way, I do want to stress how good this entire teaser is. That it made me immediately forget about that Toy Story 5 teaser as well. Like, that was such a lame teaser compared to this. So much better. But also, yeah, I loved how it seems like Bowser had some like maybe character development. Like, I don't know how much of it is sincere versus how much of it maybe is an act, but I love the fact that he gate checked himself. Like, oh, I'm getting angry, I gotta calm down here, you know. And I love the relationship he had with Mario and Luigi, where him and Luigi are kind of bros somehow. Maybe not bros, but like Luigi's more accepting of him, where Mario just straight up isn't. And I never thought in my life I would hear Mario call something it's trash.
Yeah.
And hearing Mario say that, scratch something in my brain, which is amazing. I've seen some people complain, be like, that's not how Mario would act. And I'm like, Mario of the games doesn't act beyond sheer joy at all anyway, right? The Mario of the movie is more assertive. They already laid that out in the first one. And so it's only natural that, yeah, he's not going to be very nice to the guy who kidnapped his brother, tried to marry the princess against her will, you know,
and tried to destroy Brooklyn, right?
Tried to destroy the Mushroom Kingdom and Brooklyn, right? Yeah, it's like, yeah, this dude's not a good guy. I mean, the fact he's still alive is a pretty graceful on Mario's part, right? So I love that. I thought that was really cool. But yeah, the character development, I like how Bowser took up hobbies, as you said. And also, it's not just a cute touch of how, you know, how he's a painter now, but also kind of ties in, at least thematically, with Bowser Jr. and his paintbrush, you know?
Yeah.
And that's really cool. So I want to, I'll just add to your thing that one of the things that I loved is just that how it's a direct sequel. It seems like they're picking up where they left off. Bowser is still imprisoned, and that gives a motive for, we kind of speculated for Bowser Jr. to come and try and free him. So I thought that was great. Okay, I'm gonna use that as a launch off point for my love that we haven't fully addressed yet. I actually really like. Actually, let me start off. Let me change it. I have a confession, Nick. A confession.
What?
Chad may hate me for this. I don't like Bowser Jr. I've never liked Bowser Jr. I don't like him that much. He always seemed like it's just a bad Koopaling knockoff, you know? Like, we already had 7 of them, why do we need one more? And he just felt like the lamest of the bunch. I like Bowser Jr. in the Mario movie. I know it's a little divisive. Some people don't like his voice. I'm like, no, I actually like his voice now. Like, he always sounded like too much of like he sounds like a baby in the games, right? Like too much like a 3-year-old or something.
In Sunshine, he sounds like he whines a little too much in Sunshine for me. But that's again his first appearance, so it's like, okay, they're kind of working off of Bowser Jr. from here.
I think aging him up, at least that's how it sounds like, at least maturity wise, I think is a right idea. They made him seem more teenage-ish. I think that's a right call here. Like, he's not a total moron who's gonna mistake Peach for his mom, hopefully. You know, he's old enough that he seems to be, you know, able to do things without needing his dad around. And I think he's old enough to, like, have a clear motive for trying to rescue his dad.
Yeah.
Now, of course, we're going to have a lot of questions about this later on throughout the video. But still, I really like that so far. So even though we haven't seen a ton of Bowser Jr. yet, I like the characterization of him. I like the voice, actually. It did throw me off initially just because we're so used to Bowser Jr. But after listening to that trailer a bunch now, I actually like it a lot. So I'm actually... And his look. I think his overall look is really cool. I mean, I think they actually made Bowser Jr. kind of cool. I loved how they married, you know, his typical look with the Wonder look, and because with having it tied into the paintbrush as well, really smart. And I always thought the paintbrush is kind of like a goofy weapon, you know, like a goofy item. But I loved how they used it here, almost giving it like a T-1000 like quality, where he can turn it into whatever he wants. He made a mace out of the thing. Like, that's a brutal weapon. Like, I love that. Like, that is so freaking cool. So hats off to Illumination. They're cooking here with Bowser Jr. All right.
Yeah, and that was on my list, and I'm happy that you kind of had like a change of heart here, because Bowser Jr. I go over the Koopalings. Like, I'm a huge Bowser Jr. fan. Like, he's my go-to for the Mario characters in Smash Bros. But yeah, just seeing him here and having that transformation to Wonder Bowser Jr., if you want to call it that, instead of Shadow Mario, I was like, oh my god, I'm so much on board with this. Because again, it wouldn't have made sense if he showed up and he transformed into Shadow Mario right there, right? Because I don't think he's met the Mario Bros yet up until this point. So having like the Shadow Mario would kind of be odd, even though I don't think he met Mario right away in Sunshine, having the Shadow Mario. But again, at that point, I think Bowser at least knew who Mario was, so he's able to kind of recreate and do the battle or the Shadow Mario there. But yeah, seeing Bowser Jr., seeing his design in this movie, again, like, I know people were kind of like getting a little bit like hooked on or enthralled onto like his eyes, that they don't look exactly like how they do in the games, because they're more of like an orange or like a red tint to them, like almost like he's kind of like, I don't want to say high, but maybe he's got like pink eye or something, or maybe he's got like a lack of sleep or something. But yeah, his overall design here I think is fantastic, along with his voice. I think the more I watched the trailers, the more I kind of grew accustomed to his new voice, and not to mention, it was just so random. I saw a bunch of comments and people noticing this. I thought I noticed it the first time when I watched the trailer, but they play like the Prowler music from Spider-Man, the Miles Morales one, Into the Spider-Verse. And when they played that, I was like, wait, why are they playing this? It's so random of a sound. I like the sound because when I hear it in Spider-Man, like, oh no, like the Prowler's coming, like everyone hide, this guy's gonna like kill everyone. But hearing it in this for Bowser Jr., I'm like, oh my god, it makes him more of a threat.
Yeah, I think that was the whole thing with them. I think they really just kind of like made him seem more threatening now. Like, he actually does seem like, you know, someone you wouldn't want to have a casual encounter with, right? Whereas Bowser Jr. from the games, you know, obviously he's still dangerous, but like, you know, he's also cute at the same time, so it doesn't feel that dangerous. So I think they did a good job bridging it. Like, he's still, you know, he's still endearing looking. Like, I don't think he's not ugly like Bowser is. Well, Bowser, you know, Bowser has a great design too. You know what I'm saying though, right? I think they did a really good job like walking a tightrope here, and I think they pull it off. So yeah, I'm excited to see Bowser Jr. now. Like, before, I wouldn't have wanted to see Bowser Jr., and like, it's like, all right, Illumination, you're cooking here. I want to see what happens next. So Yeah, big fan of that. Let's see. Uh, something else I loved is what Lo was seeing so far of like space. Like it seems like they're doing it justice so
Yeah.
far. Seeing whether it's a skyline, the Star Festival, which looks beautiful, or when Peach and Toad are flying through space. Like, it all looks gorgeous, going past the little planetoids. Like, it's so, again, like the first movie, it is shockingly accurate to the games. It still blows my mind there are some people out there who complain about not being close enough to the games. Are like, are you freaking kidding me? This is the closest movie we've had to a game ever. And this one seems to possibly even be more so. Like, that's Mario Galaxy. That is straight up Galaxy on the big screen. And the fact that they really just captured that look and feel once again, and just how beautiful everything is overall, just to drive that point home, really is just really impressive. Like every moment, every frame, like could be a painting in this trailer so far.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. And then I know this we're talking about the things that we love, but I don't think they really like I guess touched up on it during the trailer, which we're gonna have to wait for the full movie. But they do into space at one point, Peach and Toad, but they never show them like I guess or explain how they're breathing, because I know that was like your big concern, because it's like, oh, they just go into space and wait a minute, are they gonna be taking like a power up? Are they gonna be like with a luma that's gonna help them breathe in space? But again, we're gonna have to wait until the full movie to kind of I guess see how or like, see what their explanation is for breathing in space.
Yeah, I still don't know, because we do see Peach and Toad like drop right into or jump into the launch star and take off into space, and yeah, they have nothing helping them out. And I do like how Toad's like freaking out initially, but then he gets over it. He's like, oh, this is actually pretty cool, you know? So I do wonder there'll be some kind of explanation, like, hey, don't worry about it or whatever, you know, we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, it's just another question that I have.
Yeah.
Nick, anything else that you loved about the movie?
Yeah, for the trailer, I have one
Yeah.
more thing on our list. Is the Rosalina's interaction with the Lumas. I love when she's reading the storybook to them, and she's like, "Oh, we're gonna talk about like this princess," and they're like, "No, tell us about the plumbers again. Tell us about the plumbers," because this seems like it could be the beginning of the movie, and maybe it goes into the adventures of Mario and Luigi right away. Because just seeing the interactions with Rosalina and the Lumas and how like much they're like almost like she's like their caretaker there, or like they're her children. I had a smile on my face once I saw that scene.
It was heartwarming. It was adorable,
Yeah.
extremely cute, and it also makes me wonder how that's going to fully tie into, which we'll again have questions about very soon. But I think we're getting pretty close to that section. So, but yeah, I love like all the little touches there too, like the baby one to the binky, and then there's another one that playing on the analysis like falling asleep on the couch. You know, the Lumas are just adorable, and this. I just love that they captured the semi-maid was already cute character, even cuter in the movie than the games, which is impressive. So, Nick, any other points you want to highlight before we move on?
I think we covered most of them. Bowser Jr., seeing Mario and Luigi together, Bowser being multifaceted. He's a painter and an artist, like a musical artist. Seeing the references outside of Galaxy, even though I do enjoy Galaxy, I'm just so happy they're focusing on other Mario games like Wonder and Odyssey again, and then just Rosalina's interactions with the Lumas again. That is just so cheerful and heartwarming to see. Again, yeah, like this whole trailer just knocked it out of the park.
Yeah, including, we haven't really touched on the voice cast fully yet. We did Bowser Jr. to an extent, but how are you feeling about Rosalina too?
I'm totally fine with it. Like I find it so fitting when once she started talking, and I guess in the library with the Lumas, I was like, oh yeah, this is fitting. Like I didn't recognize that was Brie Larson right away, but once they said that, I was like, okay, this makes sense. Again, like I think that's a good thing though. Like if you see the character and they start talking, and it's just like, okay, this makes sense. Whoever is the actor at this point playing this character, and then you see the voice actor, like, okay, now I can put the connections together, and I'm happy for them. So
yeah. Yeah, I neither voice really stood out to me. I would say, I mean, I guess maybe Rosalina is just a little higher pitched sounding than I may have expected based on the games. But I think she tends to have a deeper voice there. But other than that, like it totally works fine, and I'm sure I'll get used to it once I'm there. And then Bowser Jr., like again, threw me off just a little bit initially, but I've grown to really like it, I think, so far. Especially if we assume that the Mega Leg character is also Bowser Jr. And also I like even how his voice changes too a little bit when he's in his paintbrush mode or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, really, really good stuff. So I'm just looking at the chat real quick to see if anyone pointed or if anyone has anything they love about the movie. And also chat, let us know how we're sounding, by the way. Are we sounding okay so far? I forgot to ask early on. Just let us know if that sounds good. But yeah, I'm not actually seeing a whole lot of specific points about I think everyone is like, it's just very happy with what they've seen. Like the reaction, I don't know, Nick, has everything you've seen so far been positive about the movie mostly, or?
I guess I'm not on social media too much, so
You're
it's really
smarter than
just
I
kind
am.
of like I know that's the thing. Like I don't really have the only thing I think I have is like Facebook, but I'm not like on Twitter or Instagram or anything. But I think for the most part, like my friends and I in our Discords, like we were pretty happy for what we saw. So the only thing is like I was hoping that again this was just a personal pick that Bowser Jr. was going to be Adam. I want to say Divine from Workaholics, because there is an episode where him and his father comes in, and his father is played by Jack Black. So that's why I was like, oh, I hope they bring him on because he looks a lot like Jack Black. He tries to sing in the show, and he's not a good singer. So I was hoping that they would have like some kind of chemistry like that with these two characters. But again, like I don't really know the actor of who's playing Bowser Jr. in this movie all too well. But I think
never
it
heard of
sounds
him.
pretty good.
Yeah, I never heard of him.
Me neither. So like I don't know like what the musical talent is going to be there, or if Bowser's even going to have another song with anyone else, or if it's just going to be him.
Yeah, I don't know if we're both. Maybe we just both live in caves, you know. But you know, the fact that neither of us know the actor is, I think, kind of a cool sign. Like that they didn't exclusively go for big names only. Like maybe they were really focused on the specific sound for this character. I think that's actually pretty cool. So again, maybe I'm off base. Maybe he's actually a huge actor and I just have no idea.
Yeah,
so.
we could be completely off. Yeah,
Exactly. Real quick, I actually think this might be a good time to address super chats before we move into the next section. So the super chats we got so far, and we'll do this for each section. So if you send more super chats, we'll address them in that section later on or at the end of it. DB earlier said, chances of a Wave Race movie 0, 2 zeros, 0% chance of it ever happening. I wish it would.
Yeah, that super chat. I'm like, there's got to be movies based off of just people riding jet skis, right? Like there has to be. I know like there's jet skis in movies. But like, is there a movie that's solely based off of just jet ski
wasn't there a
racing?
Keanu Reeves movie about that? Like, was it Daybreak or something? He's a surfer. Maybe not jet skis. He was a surfer, I think.
But you probably see jet skis in the background, or they're probably in there because they're on the water with surfboards.
Yeah, probably. The other super chat we got so far was Ice Luigi asks or says, we still don't know if DK will be in the sequel. At this point, I don't think it will be. I don't think he's going to be here. I think they will have announced him with the returning cast earlier on if he were to be. But do you think so?
Yeah, I know. I definitely agree with you because the first time they announced the returning cast, this trailer was meant to announce the two brand new actors and characters coming in. Again, like at this point, I think we're sitting at 7 of the main casts for the movie, so I don't think they want to kind of muddle it with any more other characters, and it just gives more proof that hey, there's going to be a DK movie probably like 2 or 3 years from now. So again, I think they want to save DK for that. They're going to make a big deal out of who's going to be playing like Dixie Kong and Diddy Kong, and if Chunky Kong's back, if Chunky's alive or something, or Lanky Kong. So I think they're going to save all those characters for that movie.
Right. So a few people in the chat mentioned actually that not only did the voice of Bowser Jr. direct Uncut Gems, which is, if you want to be stressed, Uncut Gems will do it, Jesus. But apparently it was also in Oppenheimer, in addition to also being the villain in Happy Gilmore 2. So I actually have seen him in action. I did see Happy Gilmore 2. So yeah, all right. I guess I am more familiar with him than I thought. So still, I don't think a household name exactly, but again, maybe I'm off base there. So. Let's see here. Soggy Dude says the clip where Bowser Jr. is inside of some machine. I believe he's inside some Mecha Bowser. Keep in mind, Mecha Bowser is in Mario Sunshine and Galaxy. So he's referring to the scene after the trailer in which we see Bowser Jr. talking to the camera. We can see a bunch of, like, tubes behind him. He's got a control panel in front of him.
Yeah.
So my take was that was perhaps inside Mega Leg, but it's impossible to tell for sure. He could be inside some other kind of contraption, so you might be right.
It could be his bedroom, for all we know.
Could be, exactly.
He just sleeps there.
I was going to say something else about Bowser Jr. What was it going to be? Oh, Nick, how do you feel about the fact that this is following the retcon of Bowser's Fury, where the paintbrush is no longer made by EGAD, unlike in Mario Sunshine, where it was implied that it was?
I just have to say, I think Nintendo really dislikes EGAD for some reason. Like, he's a character that you associate with Luigi's Mansion 100%. When you think Luigi's Mansion, outside of Luigi, like, that's who I think of right away. So for him not to be, like, in any spin-offs, for them to kind of retcon that and not have it on the paintbrush, I'm like, okay, I'm so confused by that. But then again, like, I don't know if Flood has appeared. I mean, chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Has Flood appeared in anything outside of Smash Bros. And Mario Sunshine?
I don't think so.
Again, like on there, like, do we see EGAD's logo on there anywhere?
I don't
Or maybe
No.
in Sunshine, like Flood will just say like, "Oh, like I was produced by like so and so." I feel like there is a small reference, but yeah, going back to your point of having the
Oh yeah,
paintbrush and
I'm
not
sorry.
having EGADs.
Well, in Mario
Go ahead.
Sunshine, the boxes at least that you've changed the handles on, or the nozzles or whatever, those have EGAT's head
No,
on
yeah,
it.
those have EGADs.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, so just from their association, we're just assuming that EGAD also made that. But yeah, having the paintbrush not have it, it's like I'm okay with it because I mean I still love the paintbrush, but again, like Nintendo, like why don't you? What's your hatred towards EGAD? Why isn't he in Mario Kart? Why isn't he in like Mario Party or any other spin-off? It just I don't know. It's just kind of weird.
It is weird, so. Oh, here we go. JCF says, what if EGAT built the brush and Mega Leg? Yeah, that would be quite the change of events. I don't think EGAT has a chance of appearing here, because it runs back into the issue now of how do you explain him being a human, right? Now, I guess Rosalina's also a human, and we didn't have that origin for her yet, so we'll have to wait and see if the movie addresses her backstory here. It'll be interesting to find out, so...